Should you forgive cheating?
Now,
both the man and the woman side.
Now, issue of cheating and faithfulness. The Bible recognizes that the only condition, the only situation where you should divorce your wife or your husband is when one partner is unfaithful.
Oh, Bible may allow.
The Bible says so. At the same time, the Bible hates divorce. The Bible says that, I think in Malachi, that it doesn't like divorce. So which means the intention is for this relationship to work. There are different ways by which partners treat cheating. Number one, some of them will prefer to revenge, to cheat back.
Hata mimi naenda kulimwa. Kumamelima, hata mimi naenda kulimwa. Kidogo Obinna amepigiwa. Hey Obinna. Bado uko samaki. Ninapitia kusema hai.
Now, some of them can choose to cheat back, to revenge. Some can choose to walk away. Some can choose to forgive. Now, this idea of cheating back, that's not an option. Revenge is not an option, okay? Because in the course of your revenging, you might get so many bad things. You might get STDs, sexually transmitted diseases, or sexually transmitted demons. You know these things are also very spiritual, okay? You can choose also to forgive depending on how deep you have been into your relationship. Because Obinna, number one, forgiveness is the only antibiotics without side effects. Being bitter with your partner is like you are swallowing poison and you expect your partner to die. You are the one who feels bad about it, you know? You feel so bad about it. If you don't forgive, you're like a body walking in the streets. It's a dead body. You are walking and you're carrying a dead body on your back, okay? So it depends on how. That will depend from spouse to spouse. I cannot definitely tell you that this is what you should do.
Okay.
But it depends. I can only give you options. Okay? But again, Obinna, you need to use the 20-80% in marriage. 20-80% rule. That what you said, that uko wapi niko samaki. Unataka ulimwe. Let me tell you something, Obinna. You know, you as a man, you only have 80%. You lack 20%.
Of what?
Of all the qualities that should make a man.
Ah, okay.
Okay? You are not perfect. You can't be 100%
nobody
perfect.
Is, yeah.
So you lack 20%. Then your partner chooses to go and look for a person, thinking that that person has 100%. When you reach that person, you realize that that person also lacks 20%, but lacks it differently. Then you say that, hey, this one also lacks another 20%. Then you go to the next person. So you will end up walking, and you walk, meeting the whole world, thinking that they have 100%, but they all lack something.
Yeah.
So have your 80%, you provide the 20%, it becomes 100%. You move on.
Songa nayo.
Okay. The issue of finances, again, there's something I've just remembered while I was talking. If you're a man, the easiest way to deal with some things of finances, because some men, they don't like being asked for money on a weekly basis, on a daily basis. Then why don't you just program yourself? You know that within a month, this is the program, this is the budget that you have in a family. How can you provide? So that end month, you just give money to your wife. She knows what to do within those 4 weeks. Anaweza ziprorate, ajue venye ataspend.
True.
If kama upendi kitunguu, mwambie andike budget. Toa hiyo kitunguu kama upendi. If you don't have money, you don't need to eat sausages if you can eat bread. You don't have to drink chai ya maziwa. If there is no money for maziwa, you take strong tea. That is still tea. That is how you plan.
Rework the budget.
That is how you can rework the budget, agree. Then hii maneno ya kutoa pesa kila siku, you can get irritated. Irritation is also one of the poisons of life in that waffle pancake that we drew. Yeah. Okay? Irritation, you can feel like you are so irritated. So that is what we have with the conflict resolution, Obinna.
Okay.
And the issue of unfaithfulness is also there.
Let me throw one more there, gender-based violence. That also falls under conflict.
Yes, gender-based violence is a very sensitive issue.
Yeah.
And gender-based violence can mean a male figure, husband, a male figure beating, assaulting a female figure, or even a female figure assaulting a male figure. And you've seen most of this gender-based violence, they end up into very difficult situations, death.
Yeah.
They end up into death. So the best thing to do when you are faced with such issues is number one, to pray about it. Number two, to involve your parents as couples. You involve your parents, because if one couple dies, the other one will go to prison automatically. Am I right? And then the children will suffer. Now that is what we are talking about, trauma and poor upbringing. And those children will produce again broken generations. Okay? So that your generation will forever be broken. So poor parenting brings up traumatized children. Traumatized children brings up, again, broken generation. So it will be a cycle. So the most important thing, involve your parents, involve elders of the church or leaders of the church. Okay? You can involve your do I call them your mentors? You can involve mentors in that, so that at least a solution can be brought. But here, the root cause of gender-based violence is upbringing. Therefore, to parents, we'll talk about children, how you handle your children. How you handle your children, how you bring up your children is the real cause of the gender-based violence. Poor upbringing will most likely lead to that. If you go to prison, there was some statistics that showed that 80% of those in prison are from single parenthood or total orphans.
Yeah.
So that tells you that poor upbringing brings a lot of challenges.
True. Well, you are dispensing knowledge carelessly. Kunao mabibi wenye chenye pasta amesema ndio ni katiba. Ajaya hata nawisha bwana, lakini pasta akifika sasa, pasta na nawishwa, sani ni glass, pasta na saviwa, lakini mzee anaviwanga, si upakwe, kwani ni nini utashinda umetusumbua hapa kwa nyumba? Nasema huu ni mtumishi wa Mungu, lazima sasa angojwe vizuri, mpaka unaweza, pasta nataka nikuongeze chakula.
You know, Obinna, the first most important person in a family, in a marriage, is a husband or a wife. Before you treat other people's husbands well, treat your husband well. Before you treat other people's wives well, treat your wife well. Before you please other people's wives, please your wife. Before you please other people's husbands, please your husband. Before you please other people's children, please your children.
Okay.
It is very, very important, because even the Bible recognizes that you should love your neighbor as you love yourself, which means the Bible gives you a room that you should love yourself.
True.
So that you can also love
others,
your neighbor with the same love that you have for yourself. So the women should know that the most important person in a marriage, in a house, is a husband. Therefore, that husband should be given the best plate, scissors, and you may keep. Should be given the best food that you are preparing.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
And that husband, you also need to appreciate that woman. Akitengeneza best food, appreciate also.
Okay.
So that ye pia feel ako appreciated. Then the same to a husband. Kuna husbands pia wanaweza karibisha bishops na pastors ambaye are female vizuri.
Yeah, of course.
So hiyo ni two-way traffic.
Okay.
So the most important thing is to realize that the husband is the head of the family, and also realize that as a man you need to love your wife. Go back to the basics. The basics. And then I think that will not be a problem anymore.
Be a problem. Unajua inasukumanga hata kwa mavazi Kwa nyumba watu wanashinda na stocking kwa kichwa.
Now that is very important, Obinna.
Akitaka kutoka ndio sasa tamanenda girls night out. Sasa lakini kwa nyumba ni t-shirt tu za Obinna show live. T-shirt yake imeandikwa tu Oga the tap.
Obinna, in dressing, women is very, very important. Men are visual creatures. Is what they see. So ukiwa kwa nyumba na unavaa blanketi 24/7 ujue kuna shida.
Ujifunika na duvet tu.
Yes. Dress the way you want to be addressed in that house.
Kwesha mambo.
At night. Okay? Na umejua kukaa vizuri mchana na kukaa vizuri usiku ni tofauti. So kaa vizuri usiku, ukiambia bibi akae vizuri usiku, hiyo ni tofauti. Na kaa vizuri mchana, hizo zote ni tofauti. So it's important for women, you dress to please your husband. These men are visual creatures. So please kwanza before please the streets.
Okay.